It's common to talk about someone's worst nightmare or a parent's worst nightmare. This probably transcends that into something that you couldn't even dream would happen. They're called sextortion scams. And one family is now talking about what happened to them and their son. Sadly, it's too late for their son, but they have a warning because it could happen literally to any family. Jordan DeMay was a high school sports standout in Michigan. He ultimately took his own life after facing blackmail threats from a group of Nigerian con artists. They posed as a girl his age online and through various conversations tricked him into sending nude pictures. Once they got the pictures of him, they threatened to post them online unless he paid them $1,000. Quote, "Just pay me right now and I won't expose you. Just pay me right now. I can send you this nudes to everyone and also send your nudes until it goes viral." Those are alleged texts from these suspects in Nigeria. Now, 3 men are facing extradition to the United States. They're accused of crimes related to the sexual extortion blackmail of more than 100 young men and teenage boys in the United States. Former FBI agent Tracy Walder told us last week cases of this sextortion blackmail with nude photographs of men are starting to explode worldwide.
I do think you have to be more aggressive, but the bottom line is that comes down to intelligence collection, right? People on the ground, FBI agents on the ground, CIA, quite frankly, on the ground, gathering intelligence to know who these individuals are. And I do think we need to be harvesting better assets in Nigeria, quite frankly, to get ahead of some of these scams, because you're right, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's hundreds, if not thousands more.
Right, of just this kind of scam in just Nigeria. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received 32 million reports of child sexual exploitation. While the FBI managed to make arrests in Jordan's death, that's not always the case for other teenagers who've been exploited online, because oftentimes they don't talk about it. With us now, Jordan's parents, John DeMay and Jennifer Buddha. We appreciate both of you being here. Help us understand, just from a standpoint of how quickly this all happened. And how you were able to, he was able to sort of hide from you in those hours what was happening and what these people were doing to him.
Hi, Leland. Thanks for having us. We appreciate that. So Jordan received his first text message from what he thought to be a young lady approximately 10:15 p.m. on a Thursday night. And from that text message, he took his own life just before 4 a.m. that morning. So just under 6 hours from the initial hello to the end.
And I think what must be so awful among many things that you guys are going through is the reality you're probably asleep during that time. And he's sitting there realizing and fearing what could happen. And his parents, you didn't even know.
Correct. Yeah, we had no idea. Matter of fact, when he came home that night at 10:15, he had just received that first message, which we found out later. But that was the last time that I saw him. We crossed paths on our front patio as he was rolling his bags in for the night. We were getting ready for vacation in the morning. And that was the last time I'd seen him. So I was sleeping by 10:30 that night. And so there was zero chance to interfere and interject or catch any of this.
Jennifer, as a mother, I actually can't imagine what you've gone through and the way you've had to deal with this. The common refrain whenever you hear a story like this from parents always is, "Oh, this could never happen to my kid because of blank, 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 blank." I'm wondering if that rings true to you, or if there's something different about this case that means it can't happen to every kid.
Yeah, of course, you think this will never happen to my kid. And in a broader perspective, you never think that you will lose your child over a senseless act like this.
Yeah, what is the message to other parents about your kids? Because you can't protect kids from everything. I don't have any, but I know my parents have told me that before. But at the same time, we're in this sort of Wild West situation.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Really, it's multi-part. We need to talk to the kids about the dangers of social media and being online and the risk that they have being there. And then also the parents, letting them know that this stuff is going on, and most parents don't really understand what's happening online. So they're not really paying attention so much. So what we would recommend is obviously to limit social media usage for young people, children especially. But if they're not, then at least try to put in some measures to restrict what they're doing, monitor what they're doing.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.